Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a Lexus RX 400, and it's the executive limited edition car. You can see here it's a 58 plate car. It's covered 88,000 miles and has a wonderful service history attached to the vehicle and ownership. Finished in black with a full black leather interior with silver trim. Car is in fantastic condition for the age and mileage of the vehicle. It really is. It's got a real luster to the paintwork, which is lovely to see. Going around the car, just to point out, this is actually, although this is my business, this is my wife's car, which obviously we occasionally put up for sale now and again, our own personal cars. The company provides a warranty with the vehicle, although this is our personal vehicle, so one we know very well indeed. Lights and lenses, you can see they're completely clear, condensation free, no cracks, no fading on them either. Front bumper very clean. Likewise, the bonnet of the car hardly exhibits a mark on there at all. It's absolutely wonderful. Near side, passenger side first, and really smooth in the panels. Can't see any indentations there at all. Near side front alloy, the one takes all the bashing. There's light curbing on the outside there, but nothing really to write home about. Flanks of the car, lovely original paintwork. There is always going to be light marks on a black car. They are very light on this car indeed, and anything there should just literally just rub straight off or polish off. But so we don't attend to that kind of thing. We just leave it alone. It's just such a lovely original vehicle. Come around the back again, lovely and clean. Offside of the car, driver side rather, again really clean in the panel work. Just to show you one little mark, again not something that needs attending to, but you can do it if you so wish. Just slight abrasion on the reflector there, but I am being nitpicking, I really am. Continue down the side, again all very clean. With the exception of just the odd very light mark, which is hard to sort of pick up on the camera in all honesty, because there's so few and far between, but it is in exceptional condition really for an 11-year-old car. Apologise, it's getting quite windy now. Coming to the back of the car, always the Achilles heel of any family car, but this one has been kept absolutely beautifully. It's been kept so well. Nice to see the load cover in the back here, and then underneath that means the carpeted areas look pretty much factory fresh, incredibly clean. Coming into the back now, again very clean and tidy, and so unlike so many where kids over the years have kind of bashed them about, the leather works really good on the car. So it comes inside the front passenger side there, and all in very nice order. Coming into the driver's side, so I'm holding the door, it's really windy all of a sudden, hopefully you can see. There's just on there, hopefully you can see, it's just been caught. I mean, you could literally just pop those down if you wanted to, but again, I'm just trying to pick up on anything I possibly can. Footwell area is lovely and clean, and the driver's seat itself, the one that takes all of the bashing, has been kept really beautifully. So inside the car now, engine's running through this section so the dash can be seen illuminated, which looks pretty much factory here again, in just beautiful condition. It's just wonderfully clean. Sat nav, you can see they're working exactly as it should. If I pop the car into reverse, you have that lovely clear gridded parking camera, all working exactly as it should. And coming down, dual zone climate control system, the Mark Levinson stereo, but as I said, been kept really well. And then up to the dashboard binnacle, and hopefully you can see in there we've got 88,101 miles, and there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all whilst the engine's running. But a fabulous car in every way. These are terrific cars. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Lexus RX 400 hybrid, and it's the executive limited edition model. This particular car is registered FJ58VDD, and mileage currently showing is 88,095 miles. The reason we do all of our videos is basically so that if anyone's looking at our cars online in the adverts, they actually get to see those very cars in operation. Reason we feel it's important is really simple. We basically know to our cost when going to see and buying cars that it can be enormously frustrating to get there and find out after looking at the description and the photographs provided that the car's got a fault or issues which show up whilst test driving the car. So that's why we do it. It's also done on these very quiet country roads, very close to our premises. The reason for that is it's part of the test drive route, and that hopefully will be representative of what you would feel yourself if offered a test drive in the car. This particular car, as you no doubt know from hopefully the walk around video which I'm aiming to do, which weirdly enough comes before this one when I edit them. This is actually my wife's car, or was my wife's car, so it's now time to change. So we know the car very, very well indeed. It's been a wonderfully looked after car with a very comprehensive service history all the way through. Car drives absolutely beautifully. Twist the key and it starts instantly. It generally settles into what they call kind of the hybrid mode, the battery mode, so it's silent, but then the engine can sort of kick in and out. It all operating exactly as it should. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car, and there never have been in our ownership of the vehicle. Temperature gauge running at just under a half, which is exactly where it's meant to be on one of these vehicles, so all spot on. Sorry, it's a bit glary with the sun. It's in and out today, and on wet roads that can be a bit glary on the videos, so I do apologise. But the hybrid system is simply genius. It's still one of the very best, even by modern standards. The interaction between the engine, the hybrid system, how it does it, is all but imperceptible in all honesty. And in day-to-day driving, it's just wonderfully efficient. So quite often you'll be going at low speeds, absolutely silently, certainly at idle, where the engine turns the engine off, and then just as you're going along, it just kicks it back in again. It's just brilliant. There is a lovely display on these. If you go into trip info there, and I go into energy, and you get this display telling you what is going on at any given time. It's actually slightly hypnotic. I love looking at it, looking at it from time to time. Very nice screen. Then you've got the consumption screen, and every 5 minutes you get a little bar telling you what your MPG is over that period of time. I actually did do a video during lockdown on MPGs and how to get the best out of them, because what the manufacturers claim isn't necessarily always what you get out of cars. We know that. I do, or my wife does, predominantly very short trips. The classic taking the kids to the school a couple of miles up the road, occasional sort of foray down to the shops and other places, and we tend to get around about sort of 28, 29 mpg, and I'm being honest, this is what we physically get. On longer trips, far more, and that's where, ironically, I did a trip up this road, up to the M5 and back down the A38, I think it's 20 miles or so, and got it pretty much exactly what Lexus recommend, or say you'll get, which was astonishing, because I wasn't aiming for it. I was just trying to drive normally, and as an owner would ordinarily do, but it's very efficient. Engine obviously goes into Gearbox. The CVT gearboxes on these, absolutely brilliant. It means it's just completely seamless. You just put your foot down, you hear the lovely wail of the V6. It's a fantastically satisfying noise, and the car kind of catches up with it. It's brilliant in operation. Dismiss completely what road test magazines or videos say, because they drive them at hooligans and they say, the engine's revving up and it sounds horrible. Well, only if you drive like a lunatic the whole time. So if I put my foot down now, there's the engine, it's quiet, but you're driving like a complete psychopath, in all honesty, to be driving it, doing that to the car. It makes no sense, and it's not what people buy these cars for. They buy them for possibly the most soothing way to drive from A to B, and if anyone drives them like that and finds it, I apologise, but I generally drive them as I think most do, basically just to be cosseted. We really, really do. Steering of the vehicle, nice and fluid. It's accurate. It's clearly not sporty. It's not designed to be, but it's faithful. It follows car follows exactly where you want it to go, and it all feels nice and tight in hand. Chassis of the vehicle, just wonderfully smooth riding, very comfortable. Body control through the corners is actually very good. If you really lean on it, it can get some body roll angle, but again, you've got to be driving pretty hard to do that because it copes with most corners absolutely beautifully. There's also no nasty sort of knocking noises or rattles coming from underneath the suspension, so all in good order. Worth pointing out, it'll be going for an independent MOT hopefully later today, before the car's sold. Brakes on the car, well, I know they're very good because it's got brand new discs and pads on the front of the vehicle, and the ones on the back are fine, but when you hit the brakes, they're solid. They are, that's one thing I would say with people who are not used to hybrid cars, or the Lexus in particular, and I mentioned it on the videos, because it's regenerating a lot of its battery power by braking, and when you're lifting off the throttle, sometimes you put the foot on the brake, but it can feel it. You're slowing down, but it feels a little bit numb. And when you first drive them, it can feel a little bit disconcerting, but it is quite normal. And I've had all of my Lexus RXs feel exactly the same, so it's no different. They're very powerful indeed, but sometimes, especially at slower speeds, you put your foot on it, it just feels. But that's when it's regenerating most of its battery power, basically. But all in very good order. Coming inside the vehicle, it's a these are very sought after, really sought after, which is why I bought the car, I must admit. Black with black leather and silver trim is pretty much the holy grail for these cars, and it's lovely. They're really beautifully built. It's in really lovely condition. It's only odd, to find an 11-year-old car that's stood the test of time as well as this, and especially RXs, because they are, it's such a cliche, but they are the ultimate Chelsea tractor. So kids thrown in them, not overly cared for, and quite often, so I go and see loads and have to walk away immediately. This one has been kept really, really, really well. As I said, beautifully made. Only on the door pad here, which I think I showed on the walk around video, got a couple of tiny marks there. In the back, it's in beautiful condition, and in the front, the dashboard just looks lovely, absolutely fantastic. All working, aircon, sat nav, rear camera. You've got the brilliant Mark Levinson stereo system because it's a high spec one, and that is a fantastic sound system. If you like your music, and because the car's so quiet, the reproduction is simply superb. But as I said at the start of the video, the point of it, as brief as it might be, is just to show the car in operation, to feedback on any issues there might be with the vehicle, of which there's none at all. I certainly wouldn't have my family in the car if I thought there were. It drives simply brilliantly. They are superb cars in every single way. As always though, if you've got any questions about the car, don't hesitate, do give us a call.